Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to an excited Wrestling Days because I have been collecting horror figures for the past 12 months. I had a few actually this time last year and I got loads of questions from you guys asking me would I be doing a video about horror figures, which I thought was a really good idea. So I've been collecting and now I can bring you this video, this absolutely epic horror action figure collection video. Look at this. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. Make sure that you join us because I am going to do individual videos for all of these figures. There's so much to go through. We've got the packaging, there's extra accessories. I just couldn't fit everything into this video, so make sure you hit that subscribe. We're going to start with these movie Maniac figures from McFarlane Toys. You can see Norman Bates, Psycho on the back, an absolute classic horror film, which looks absolutely brilliant. And also along there, we've got some WWE mutant figures. So we've got Asuka and Undertaker just kind of lurking in the background, sticking his purple tongue out. Next up, we've got Ghostface, of course, from Scream, which was such a great franchise, such a great series of films. And Ghostface, I mean, he is just one of the most iconic characters now. So you get the little movie poster and, of course, a great-looking figure. You got Braun Strowman in the background. Moving on, Pumpkinhead. Look at the size of this figure. I don't think I can really do it justice. I've had to bend it over just so it fits on the shelf. It is absolutely huge. Look at this figure. So detailed as well. Yeah, I absolutely love it. As we said, we've got the packaging. Make sure you hit the subscribe because we can go through all of these in much more detail. We've got Roman Reigns from that Mutants collection in the background. And then, of course, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead. Look at that figure. Again, you want to talk about detail. This is absolutely rammed full of it. Look at that, like, attire. And obviously it's got the skull on the head as well. Just absolutely brilliant. Chris Jericho in the background. And then one of my favourites, Blair Witch. I love the first Blair Witch. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And if I can take this off and show you, like, the face underneath, look at that. Again, talking about the detail. What a great figure. All part of that McFarlane Toys movie Maniacs range. So you get the little Blair Witch poster in the background as well. We've got Undertaker, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, all part of the Zombies range for WWE. But that's not really what we're focused on. We're focused on the Fly. Look at that. Really big, kind of like the Pumpkinhead figure. Really detailed as well. And I love the green on the stomach as well. That looks really cool. There's a few like soft bits on that figure. So as we said, make sure you hit the subscribe because I need to show you all of these in much more detail. I'm only getting like 30 odd seconds to talk about each figure. But it is absolutely incredible. Over here, look, Biohazard 5, the game. We've got the Executioner. This is from Neca, and look at the size of that axe. It is absolutely huge. Love this figure. I don't tend to get, like, video game figures, but I had to get this one just because of that axe, and also all those pins as well that are in the head. I think it looks brilliant. He's got John Cena pinned up against the wall as well. Zombie Cena pinned up against the wall. We've got John Kramer, and of course down here we've got the puppet and the tricycle. They came together as a set, and they of course are from the Saw franchise, one of my favourite franchises. Absolutely love those series of films. So there is John Kramer, who comes with like A few swords, a few like knives and things, but it's all about that puppet. Moving on, Friday the 13th. This is part 2, and I had to get this. This obviously has got a really cool looking Jason head with that kind of blanket over the top, and I just really like it. It's so different. That is part 2, and that is from Neca. Next up, Silence of the Lambs. Again, this is from Neca. Hannibal Lecter. Obviously, you've got the removable mask. I will try and take that off in a sec. And you've got the trolley that is strapped to as well. Obviously, he's in a straitjacket. You can't take the straitjacket off. This is one of the most expensive figures in the collection. This cost me around about £70. And it's quite hard to find. Certainly boxed. And we've got the box for this, and as we said, you know, we will go through these figures in more detail, but yeah, next up we've got Alien, Xenomorph, as I think it's also known, but you've got to have an Alien in your horror collection, because this is regarded as the greatest horror film of all time, and it absolutely does not disappoint. What a great looking figure that is. So I'd like to get a few more of the Alien figures, actually. They've made quite a few different ones. That one is absolutely awesome. Next, we've got The Nun. The Nun from Neca. Look at the fabric items on here and that face as well, which looks absolutely awesome. This, of course, is part of the Conjuring universe. You might have seen some of those Conjuring films. And yeah, The Nun. Quite an iconic character now. Moving on, we've got Captain Spaulding, House of a Thousand Corpses. This is one of the best horror films from like the 2000s. And again, you want to talk about fabric items and cloth goods. Again, just look at that attire. That's why I had to have this. I am a fan of the film, but I had to get it because of all of those cloth items. This is actually the taxi driver from Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, one of the first kind of horror films, I suppose, that I saw when I was a kid. And he really scared me, the taxi driver, when he like turns around. So I saw this figure for about £8, and I had to add it to the collection. I thought it looked absolutely awesome. So yeah, big fan of that. Also a big fan of Halloween, Michael Myers. Look at this figure. It's like, I think they call it the ultimate Michael Myers figure. Of course it is from Neca. Everything seems to be from Neca. And it comes with like a light up pumpkin and things, so there's loads for us to look at. You get quite a bit with this Michael Myers. Love the obviously mask on that and the attire and everything. Looks brilliant. You can see Stone Cold Steve Austin, the zombie figure in the background, which looks really cool. Next up, we have got Silent Night, Deadly Night. This was from, I want to say, about the 80s. I'm sure it was like the 80s, about 84, I think. And it's brilliant. Yeah, he goes crazy. I think his name is Billy, if I remember correctly. Goes crazy, goes on like a killing spree. Absolutely awesome. Next up, Friday the 13th. This is the final chapter. So just a bit more of a classic looking Jason there with the hockey mask. That's when he targets the Jarvis family, for those of you that have seen that film. In the background as well, we got Swamp Thing, which is a little bit weird. It's from, obviously, DC, the DC universe, but Swamp Thing was involved in, like, some horror stories, and I just really like this figure. Forbidden Planet were selling it off for, again, about £8, and it's big, and it's really detailed, so I had to add it to the collection. We've got the Reanimator as well, again from Neca, again got awesome cloth items. This is Herbert West. who invents a reagent that can bring people back to life. I think down here, actually, the head that's in the tray that's been brought back to life. I'm sure that is from the Reanimator figure, and we will look at all of that in more detail. So again, I know I keep going on about it, but there's so much for us to look at. Make sure you are subscribed. We've got Paige and Sasha zombie figures, and then we've got these WWE crossover Ghostbusters figures. They've literally only just come out, and Mattel very kindly sent them through for us to look at early. So you got The Rock and John Cena, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you can even see the little ghost trap that they've got down there as well, which looks absolutely awesome. Big fan of that. This next one might be my favourite figure. This is Spawn from McFarlane Toys, Hatchet, which I think is like a comic book character. It was a kid that basically, I think, becomes a zombie. You get all of these incredible accessories. You get loads of other accessories as well. This was voted one of the top 10 best horror figures online. So really, I had to add that to the collection. We've got Jake the Snake Mutants figure in the background. Comes with like 2 snakes and the jaws open. And man, there's so much to go through. We've got Kerry next from Neca. She obviously is the girl that is pushed too far, and she unleashes terror on people, and you can see like all the blood that's down her dress. It's on her hands, all over her face and everything. Don't really get any accessories with that, but the figure itself is stunning, absolutely stunning. And you want to talk about stunning, we've got to talk about Pinhead Hellraiser. Again, Neca, and wow, what a figure. What an incredible figure. You do get the little puzzle box as well, but I didn't want to kind of put it out because it's the kind of thing that would get lost. And of course, you've got to see the head when we're talking about Pinhead. Look at the detail on that. We've got Kevin Owens' zombie figure in the background. We've got Undertaker from that Ghostbusters range, that new crossover range. And then, as well as that, down here, you can see we've got Return of the Living Dead as well. They haven't done many figures of Return of the Living Dead, and this was really expensive. That was around about the £70 mark as well. But again, looks awesome. I think it's got like a hinged jaw. And look at the detail on that body. Isn't it absolutely incredible? Such a big fan of that figure. Moving on, we've got Chucky. Obviously, the good guy's doll that turns into a serial killer. Tries to transfer his soul from the doll to a human body. It's not the biggest figure, but it's quality, and you get loads of accessories. I think it's because the figure is quite small. They chuck in just so much stuff, so we need to look at all of that. Moving on, we have got Walking Dead. I think that's Beta. And basically sadistic, aggressive, and very kind of stuck in a certain way of life. Very cool looking figure. We've got Roman Reigns, zombie figure in the background. And then, of course, Pennywise. You can see Pennywise. How could we not have Pennywise? This has got to be probably the most iconic character now. The second film, obviously, just coming out in cinemas recently. And this is the more modern Pennywise, which is, a little bit drab, I think. I appreciate that, it's got to be a little bit different, but I do prefer the more colourful figure, which we will look at. We got Brock Lesnar, zombie figure in the background. Another Ghostbusters figure. That is the Librarian. Down here as well, this is Penny Blake, I believe her name was called. And she is from Walking Dead. She basically died and her father couldn't bear to part with her, so kept her alive as a zombie. And a lot of these like little accessories, the heads, the hands, the feet, they all came with her. Again, she was voted one of the top 10 best horror figures, so I had to add it to the collection. We've got, of course, Pennywise again, and this is the one that I prefer. This is the classic Pennywise from the TV movie. And look at all the balloons that you get as well. You get like swappable heads. You do get the little paper boat. I think there's like 4 interchangeable heads and interchangeable hands and noisemaker and balloons, and there's loads of different things. Again, that is from Neca. In the background, we got Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love the apron on that because it's just awesome. It looks absolutely awesome, splattered with blood. And, of course, Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe my favourite horror film with Freddy Krueger. I saw that when I was a kid and I could not sleep. I honestly, it messed me up as a child. Absolutely love it. This is based on the first film. I have actually got some more Freddy Krueger figures on the way. Yeah, the first film was the one I wanted the most. And then we've got some WWE Zombie figures just to kind of like finish off. We've got Bray Wyatt. We've got Finn Balor with his jaw missing. We can see AJ Styles. We've got The Rock in the background, Triple H, who I think we saw, and then the Boogeyman as well, kind of hiding back there, who's like one of the more scary WWE characters. And that is around about it. There's more figures on the way, horror figures on the way, but I just had to do this video because we've got so much stuff. And the display was pretty much full. I'm going to have to start like a new display. So if you want to see these figures, see those other figures that are coming, and we've got lots of other videos, horror videos planned obviously around Halloween, then make sure that you hit that subscribe and make sure that you join us. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.